This is the final video in a series of 5 featuring the birds of Hogganfield Park Local Nature Reserve, starting in October 2021. Of course, Hogganfield Park is dominated by Hogganfield Loch, but it's not the only habitats you have here. There's also some grassland areas which are managed for wildflower meadows. And after the cut in October, rooks came down onto the cut grassland and finding lots of bugs to get themselves a good meal. Not the only corvid, magpies came down and benefited from some food put out by passers-by. And then we have a buzzard, the first bird of prey, soaring high above the local nature reserve. They don't breed there at present, but 1 or 2 pairs do breed in the surrounding area. Into November, and now we have 2 black-headed gulls. They're both ringed black-headed gulls. The one was ringed in Elvenfoot Colony, and the second one here was ringed at the Calran Valley Colony. So great to see these ringed birds, but it's also great to see whipper swans. And this is a family of whipper swans that arrived in October to the nature reserve. And we can get up to about 30 whipper swans at any one time, occasionally down to just 1 single bird as they feed in the surrounding fields. But this is great to see a family of whipper swans exploring the loch edges, and in amongst them there are some juveniles. There's at least 4 juveniles behind the adult there, and a mute swan in the foreground. And of course, these whipper swans do come from Iceland. They breed in Iceland and then fly to the UK, and it's great to see these birds arriving in autumn to Glasgow's Hogganfield Loch. Moving on to the second bird of prey, and this is a kestrel, and the only kestrel I saw in the whole of 2021 at the park. Indeed, only 1 in 2 years that I've seen at the park, and yet they used to be a common species. This is another uncommon species. It's a Mediterranean gull, and only the second I've ever seen at the loch. And it's sitting on the railings of the derelict platform. And the Mediterranean gulls are now quite common in most of England, and they're starting to colonise Scotland as well, not to be confused by the black-headed gulls that you saw earlier. Into December now, and we're still on gulls, and this is a herring gull, distinctive with its pink leg, as it's one of the larger gulls that you'll see at the park, and they spend the winter and late autumn, early spring before moving out to their breeding colonies. But a beautiful, fierce-looking gull. This is a more smaller type of gull. It's a common gull with its yellowish-green legs, and it's called a common gull despite it not being very common. This is a goldcrest. You can see the ring on its leg. It's Britain's smallest bird, and mentioning the ringing reminds me ringing at the end of this video, folks. So on to the great tit, common in your garden. They breed in the nest boxes put up by the Friends of Glasgow's local nature reserves, and great to see them looking so good. This is a smew. It arrived in early autumn, and it remained right up to December and can still be seen into February 2022. We now finish with the traditional Christmas bird, the robin. It is December after all, so this is one of the robins that you will see throughout the nature reserve. So normally we finish with a sunset, so we've got a sunset here, but as I hinted earlier, we do have a bonus, folks, with some images from bird ringing sessions organised by the Friends of Glasgow's local nature reserves and the Clyde Bird Ringing Group. The first one in September 2021, and you can see the gazebo of the Friends group and also the table where the bird ringing work was undertaken. The first bird they managed to capture was a meadow pipit, not a very common bird in the park, whereas the goldfinch, this is a juvenile, is more common. Moving on to the smaller of the tits, this is a coal tit. You see a little white patch on the nape of the neck. And this is a black cat, one of the summer migrants. Great to see it before it makes a long journey south. And another summer migrant, this is a chiffchaff, also likely to move south. But this was the big surprise when we caught this sparrowhawk. Everyone present was totally amazed that they managed to catch a sparrowhawk and get such close-up views of the third bird of prey to be seen in this video. Everyone had a great time, so much so that we organised a second event in October, and once again people turned up. The Clyde Bird Ringing Group did a brilliant job, and they caught this blackbird, possibly a European bird, and they certainly caught European birds on that particular day, and this is a European bird, or it may be from Iceland, because they caught both races of redwing, one from Iceland and one from Northern Europe, and these three images illustrate the bird very, very well. Moving on again, and this time it's a ringed great tit rather than one posing on a branch, and a ringed robin rather than one posing on a branch. And finally, Britain's second smallest bird, the wren, and incredible to see it with a little ring on. So everyone had a great time at the ringing sessions. A big thank you to the Clyde Bird Ringing Group. Thank you folks for watching these videos. I hope you enjoyed them. My name's Jim Coyle, and once again, thank you for watching.